Hello all. I just had to stop at the post office, so before I started again, I have to put my sunglasses up so I could see. I read poetry on how I'm feeling, and I have probably thousands. Well, that might be exaggeration, maybe 1,000, but close to it. So this is one. It says, the internal war in your soul, sometimes you cannot control. The war between your head and your heart. Something that can tear you apart. The thoughts drip over and over like a leaky pipe. Something that drops again and again, even after you wipe. The thoughts build, drop after drop, like a puddle of water. Something you wish you could, in your mind, alter. The thoughts spread through your head, something you begin to dread. The thoughts are like a tornado swirling around, something at times that gets you down. The thoughts have you wrestling which way to go, something that gets you feeling low. The thoughts you hope will fight it out, something you hope happens and gives you no doubts. Now, that is one, like I said, of probably close to 1,000. And that goes to, I think, I came across that one and I was like, that really is this internal war and your head and your heart. Now, in your head, that's never going to happen. But in your heart is like, feels differently. And the breadcrumbs, and I actually wrote when I was doing my blog about breadcrumbs. And I was shocked. But the person I was talking about, that, in my head or heart, probably my heart, my head probably is the sensible one. Heart knows probably there will never be anything long term. And I wrote about breadcrumbs, about how guys give girls, girls give guys, girls give girls, guys give guys. I mean, some people maybe are not the kind of person that can commit. Now, my friend, the guy that she struggles with, he was seeing somebody who was probably about 10-hour drive away, maybe, give or take. And it was, just like long weekends. Then it was a whole week, like 2 weekends. And he was like, I was ready for her to leave. And some people, I have a friend who's been dating a guy for like 12, 15 years. And he has his place, she has her place. Do sometimes she stay at his place and sometimes he stays at her place? Yes. But this is what works for them. They want their own space, but yet they're in this relationship. Now, I think theirs is different because they spend holidays together. They, do many things together. So, but it works for them. when they're older, maybe, would they say, hey, let's get a place together? I don't know. My friend, God rest her soul, who passed away suddenly, her and her boyfriend, almost 20 years. And they each had their own place. And again, sometimes she'd stay at his place, sometimes he'd stay at her place. And then there were times, give her space. Sorry about the coughing. So, sorry, I don't know why. I have water, thank goodness. But maybe I need to get hard candies and leave them instead of water in my car. But for some, I think some people, they can't. Go ahead, dude. They can't live with someone else full time. They need their own space, their own place. So, is that the case? Like, I'm thinking with this guy that I was hoping, and, you know, someday it would be, you know, something more. So, this is my internal, something was on my thing. I don't even know what the hell that is. Oh my God. Oh, receipts for work falling down. The sun is like right there at eye level. So, there might be, like, my friend who passed away, her boyfriend of almost 20 years, he started dating someone after she passed away, not right away, but someone that he had dated in high school. And she was getting divorced. They saw each other at a mutual friend's wedding or kid's wedding, or I don't know, but it was a wedding. And they started talking, and not only did he move in with her, they bought a house together. They got married. And my friend did express to him that she would at least have liked someday to get married. And it was hard for me to see that he gave someone else what my friend wanted. But he, you know, I had a conversation with him, and he said to me, I live with that every day. That regret, that she wanted that and I should have gave her that. And no tomorrow's guaranteed. So I have to take advantage. Like, I can't wait. I can't make the same mistake, in other words. But I don't know how he put it, but he didn't say I can't make the same mistake. But he said, I have to live with that every day, that I knew that she'd like to have a ring, maybe a long engagement, and then eventually get married. So that was hard for me. So maybe, like, these people haven't experienced a life, or, like, you know, losing someone that they wish they fully committed to, as far as living with them or whatever. But I know an attorney way back. Him and his girlfriend dated for the longest time. Then they were he was, I would say, at the age I am now, but they dated forever and each had their own place. You know, I don't know if they were living at home first. I didn't know him then. Dated for a long time, and they were just getting where they were, you know, she was moving into his house. Still not married. And he said, I don't know if I'll ever get married, but I'm committed to her. So this is our internal struggle. Like, I think because we want something and we can't understand why someone else doesn't or wouldn't want it, and why you wouldn't want to be committed to somebody that you really care about. But maybe some people can't commit. They just, I know someone that, you know, if the opportunity arises, they're gonna have sex with someone else, or maybe just make out with them and fool around a little bit. Everybody's, lady, you should have went. Like, what are you doing? Okay, well, you didn't go, lady. Like, when the guy across the way went. So it's a 4-way stop, and I just hate them. I wish there was a light at every 4-way stop. There's some people that feel that, oh, if I make out with someone, that's not cheating. In my eyes, it is. If I fool around but don't actually have sex with someone, you know, intercourse, that's not cheating. But there's some people, we're not married. We don't even live together. So it's okay. There's no ring on her finger. I personally don't agree with that, but there are some people that do. And there are women, even friends that I know, that they know the other person has cheated. They're like, oh, it's not a steady person that they're cheating with. In my opinion, still doesn't make it right. But they have the person, so they're willing to put up with that. I mean, there's some people that are married and they have a very great lifestyle, and they look the other way because I couldn't do that. So my internal struggle, I guess, is I have a conscience too. That's why in my marriage, even though at the end it was a sexless marriage, I could not go outside my marriage because I had that ring on my finger. Well, I stopped wearing it after a while, but I would say, my finger's been swollen and I gained weight after, my daughter, and it really doesn't fit right. And of course I could have got it stretched or whatever, but it bothered me wearing that ring because I felt like he wasn't honoring that commitment. He wasn't acting like we're a married couple. He was acting like two people sharing a house. And did he cheat? I don't know. I can't prove it. I can't disprove it. So I don't know. But I really, like, it really, like, I was in a marriage. So for me, no, that's cheating. Some people are like, okay, we have an understanding. Again, not judging them at all. I'm really not. I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I'm just saying I couldn't do it. And for me, it's not right. So, okay, what are you doing here? I'm going to pull up. So, that's my internal struggle. And I also wrote a poem, Why? And every line starts with why. Why not me? Why this? Why that? Why? And it goes back to one of the comments, and I'm sorry that I don't remember whose comment it was. So there's a couple of regular people that comment. So I'm really sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's, you say, why can't they be with me? And this guy has told me, you are an amazing person. Any guy would be lucky to be with you. You have such a big heart. You are so sweet. I mean, compliments coming out. And I want to scream. Well, then why not me? Then I wonder, maybe because I am all those things, that he's not a person that can commit, and he doesn't want to do that to me. And again, this goes part of the internal struggle in my head that I think about at night. Not every night. I mean, I kind of try not to think about it anymore. But I saw this poem and that triggered that. And yeah, and even when you meet somebody and you have a great time and you think, wow, you know, they're great. For an example, the guy that I talked to for 3 hours on a Saturday night, like, he saw my picture, he knew, but why, once he met me, before we hardly said 2 words, but why was I not as attracted to him as I was on the phone? Why was he not attracted to me as much on the phone? Maybe I fed off of his, like, that's the internal struggle that I had that night when I went home in my head. Did I give off a vibe? I'm not really that into him. Did I hold back? Did I don't know. Or did I get a sense that he wasn't really into me, and that's put me into, yeah, I mean, he did remind me of some guy that's obnoxious. And then I'm thinking, I did away with, like, didn't really recognize or address the little things that were obnoxious in our conversation, because maybe out of the 10 things he said, 1 was a little obnoxious and self-absorbed. Like, you know, we're talking whatever, and he's like, oh, when he goes, I can guarantee when we meet, you're not going to be disappointed. And I was like, you know, and I was like, all right, is he insecure because he just lost, like, almost 100 pounds? And he's, like, trying to be so self-confident. And then I was like, is he judging me for my size? I mean, I'm a size 16. I'm trying to be healthy. But even if I was to get back to a size 7-8 that I was before I had kids, I'm going to be the same person. I get it. I met a guy that said he loves curvy, bigger women. And I said, well, you know, I'm trying to lose weight. What if I get down to a size 12, 11, you know, 10? I mean, I was a 7-8 before kids. I don't think I'll get to that size. And he's like, I don't know. I couldn't answer. He said, but on the other hand, I don't think I'd be attracted anymore if you were, like, you know, twice your size, like had trouble walking and, you know, things like that. You're, you know, huge, and, you know, you had to go to a, you know, a motorized, you know, thing or whatever. He's like, I don't like a big, really huge woman that has trouble walking and out of breath when she's walking. He goes, but I love the curves and I love a bigger woman. So I'm like, oh, okay. So that's sorry, that I get, But if you're married to somebody, like my ex said, oh, about my weight. Now, when I met him, he was a 33 waist. By the time, we split and he made these comments about me being bigger. Now, I had lost weight. I was a comfortable 14. Very comfortable 14. Met Frank, everything. And I got a little, then after Frank, and then, I tried losing weight. I lost some weight. And then, I met Steven, still trying, I maintained, wasn't losing. And then from there, my mom got sick and she had, when Steven and I were my mother fell and I was going back, went down to Florida a few times and, was worried about her. And of course, all excuses. I'm an emotional eater, so I'm trying not to be. And being on my own now, there's not stuff in the house because I'm not buying it. And yes, someone said you can't deny yourself, indulge, whatever. And it's not that I'm denying myself. When I'm out, I'll go through the Starbucks drive-through and get a chocolate croissant. Well, it's a croissant with chocolate inside. I think it's like chocolate chunks or something. I will go to McDonald's and get the chocolate chip cookies or an apple pie. But I'm trying to not keep it in the house because if there is a whole thing of chocolate chip cookies, I'm going to eat the whole bag of chocolate. If I'm upset, I should say, or something's bothering me, or I'm feeling lonely, or down, or whatever, I'm going to eat it. So that's my thinking, and that guy that's basically gone, I went on 2 dates with, that gave me the pecan pie, gave me a pretty good size, like, oh God, like this. And took me 3 nights to finish it. The carrot cake, I took a bite, not even that night, the next night. I was like, oh, it's not bad. Not to be mean, but it wasn't the best I've tasted. And then the next night, I had about 4 bites, and the dog was going crazy. I took the icing off. I didn't want her to have all that sugar. And I gave her a piece, see if she would eat it, and she ended up eating the rest of it, and it was a pretty big piece. And I was like, this is my thinking. When I was doing Weight Watchers, I would decide, do I want to waste my points on this? Is it that good? So that was my thinking with this carrot cake. Do I want to waste calories on something I'm not really thrilled over? Nope. So I have apples. I'll probably have apples with peanut butter tonight, which is fine because the dog can, I don't know about the apples. I have to look that up, but she can have the peanut butter. So I have a spoon for her that I just keep putting the peanut butter on. And I think that I have a 5-pound thing of peanut butter. So, and I have one, that one's half gone. And then I have one that is not open yet. So I think the one that's half gone, I am going to use for her and just keep putting her spoon in there. Even though, wash it and everything, I'm just like, if a dog eats off of silverware, I'm like, nope, not me, not eating off of it. Even if it goes to the dishwasher, it's blasted with heat or whatever, washed, like sterilized. It's just a thing with me, sorry. But so my thing is, when I want to look good for the wedding in April, at the end of April, towards the end of April, number one. Number two, I want to eat healthier because I want to be healthier. My mother had a lot of health issues, and my concern is I'm going to, if, like, I don't watch what I eat. My mom did not. She was really good when she was, like, she found out she was diabetic. Oh my gosh, she was great and strict and everything. And I think when they told her she had the non-alcoholic cirrhosis, because she found out before we even knew she had it, that she just was like, this is a death sentence. I might as well enjoy life. And and what she didn't realize is if she would have ate better, and, you know, and I always feel, if you're, like, my niece has done Weight Watchers. She's done a couple of things. And she's lost over 100 pounds. And then she gained it back with the kids, and then she lost it again with this. It's kind of an intermittent fasting thing, but you can eat. She would only eat one meal a day. And she could eat big, huge meal. Didn't matter, but she would set a timer. She ate for 5 minutes. And chew, put the fork down in between, and then once the 5 minutes was up, you didn't eat for 10 minutes. And then you'd eat for 5 minutes. And then you'd stop, and, you know, and she found herself eating less. But that kind of stopped working for her. So she put a little bit weight on, not much. And now I don't know if she's doing, but when she did Weight Watchers, the very first time she lost over 100 pounds, she had a cheat day, which was Sunday, because her mother would have dinner on Sundays. So on her cheat day, she found she was eating less and less as time went on. So, I don't know. I feel you have to find what's best for you. I know some people that thin, and my friend, she's a size 0. At one time, a double 0. Now she's a 0, as, you know, age. And she can eat and eat and eat. Does not like to exercise at all. But she has said to me, you're probably healthier than me. Because, you know, this is when I was regularly working out and everything. And even after I met Frank, he went to the gym. I went to the gym with him sometimes. Or after a few months, and we saw we were each gaining some weight. So, like I said, get comfortable. And then after Frank, I lost some of that. I was really trying not to yawn. So, you know, we have this internal struggle for many things. Internal war in your soul. For you, in your soul, to do the right thing. Whether it be dating, whether it be, you know, someone asks you to do something that you know is not the right thing. But sometimes that internal struggle in your soul, you can't control it, because we can't control our feelings. We really can't. I mean, we can't. And again, that war between your head and your heart. Your head knows what is the right thing. Like, you're smart, intelligent, and your head knows, but your heart is like pulling. Those heartstrings are pulling. And it can tear you apart. I mean, there's been plenty of times where I hear from this guy, and he's off on a trip with, you know, latest girlfriend, whatever, or the girl that he's been in now for a while. And it's like, that tears me apart, because I'm like, if I would have did things differently, what if? I hate what ifs. But I didn't know at that time. I really didn't. What if Frank didn't die? You know, when he was really, like, that's the first time he kissed me, when we went to dinner, and he felt I wasn't ready for a relationship because of Frank dying. And what if Frank didn't die? And I hate the what ifs. And it just drips. And it does. And the drips are the tears. Like, because then you start to cry, and you're like, I don't know if everybody does, but I do. The tears. I mean, I could be watching something that really isn't that emotional, and I've been sitting there with my kids, and they're like, are you crying over this? They're like, I know it's sad, but are you? And it's not really I'm crying over that. And I hope some people can relate, but I'm crying. Or there'll be times I'll put on one of those Hallmark movies or Lifetime or whatever, and a movie that I know, Terms of Endearment. What else? Oh, what's that one? I can't think, but I'm not gonna. And then there's this puddle of emotions that you have, and you wish you could just, I mean, wouldn't it be nice to take a part of your brain that, you know, or your heart, whatever it is, and it's in your brain, it's in your mind. Like, if you could just wipe it away. Yeah, no, let me wipe away everything that I'm thinking about him. And so, and then you're dreading. You're dreading that conversation with him. As much as he's your rock at times because you don't have somebody, you're also dreading it. And it just like, oh my God. And it does get us down. And you're like, which way do I go? Do I not turn to him? Do I try to turn to someone else? But I have friends that are very blunt. And at times, that's not what you need. You don't need that bluntness. You need them to just listen and say, it's going to be okay, you know. And you hope that someday, I wrote in here the thoughts you hope will fight it out. Not so much the thoughts, the emotions, you know. That movie Inside Out, like, there, you know, the emotions, you know, fight each other sometimes. And I am hoping, I mean, I would be devastated if this one that he's been with for a while, he gives her a ring. Oh my God. But part of me is like, God, I wish you'd give her a ring so that I know now. Then I know for sure it's over. It's never happening with me and him. Will I be upset? Oh God, Lord, yes. But it doesn't matter that I'm going to be upset. It may be the closure that I'm looking for, the answer that I'm looking for. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I really want that closure. I really do. Now I have kids at my door of my building, and I really should get inside because now it's 5:30. I'm starving. Should walk my dog, and I want to make one of my recipes. It's the one, I think, with the eggplant. And if it makes enough with the spaghetti, I am going to bring the leftovers to my son, because what I did is I asked my son if he wanted to come for dinner tonight. And he's like, oh, we have my granddaughter's going to go to Girl Scouts. She's going to try Girl Scouts. So I was like, oh, okay. So then that was like Wednesday. And so then last night, I'm like, oh, dinner Tuesday night. And he's like, yeah, that'll work. That'll be cool. So today I went in my calendar. Should have did that before I asked him. And I'm having dinner with, friends that are, I used to work with. So a bunch of us, and it's been a while, and it took us a while to get this date. And so I was like, ugh. So I was like, oh wow. So yeah, so that was that. And I felt bad. I'm like, I'm sorry. And then I was gonna say Wednesday night, but even though he won't have my granddaughter, I'm going to dinner with another friend that we've been drawing. And actually we had a date in January, beginning of January, but I still was coughing and hacking and not feeling so great. So had to do that. And so, yeah. So, and Thursday night, I cannot because, well, I don't think he likes to on Thursday night. But maybe if there's leftovers, I'll ask him. It's already ready. We just have to heat it up. Yeah, I'm forgetting about this, that I'm going to dinner 2 nights in a row. And I have all this food that I'm going to make. So, I'm like, oh my gosh. But I don't know if I'll try. I'm trying to think. I think I have to cut up the squash and boil it before this recipe, so might not be making that tonight. Oh, the orzo. I gotta see how long that takes to cook. Even if it takes a while. I want to try to get to the gym. If I get there at 7, an hour. I mean, I've been walking, if not, and I'm doing like 10,000 steps, so it's not the same though. I'm gonna work my arms, even though I have weights in my thing, so maybe I'll sit there tonight if I don't. I mean, yes, I'm exercising more because I'm making sure I hit that 10,000 steps. I was doing like 3,000, to be honest, after being sick. Some days not. I'm lucky I hit over 1,000. So I'm doing better, 10,000. And I've got the eating down. I brought the bars, the oatmeal bars. Boss loved them. They had flaxseed, so they kind of hit my stomach. I had, well, I think it was a little too much because I had a protein bar for lunch. So, because I had to take her father with his car to get serviced because he's not always good with the English and older, and I guess he didn't want to drive, so I drove, and it was nice. He's a sweet old man, and we had some good conversations there, and yeah, I think he was bored after a while, but because it took like 3 hours, which normally it's like an hour and a half, maybe at the most, but Mondays now I know are very busy. It's usually middle week we make it, but what are you gonna do? So, all right, well, this is again internal struggle, and I've been tempted, but I have not reached out to him. I haven't heard from him, the one I can't forget about. And I just, when he does reach out, maybe I won't answer right away. See if he says everything okay. I'll wait a little while, and I'm not trying to play a game. I'm just trying to keep the distance. And I did screw myself up one time. He had floor seats to Billy Joel, and my friend goes, "Don't answer him. Be strong. Don't answer him." And by the time I answered him, he was already in the concert, and he's like, ugh. And I was so upset. So upset. Like, oh my God, I screwed myself there. But what are you going to do? Shit happens. So it's getting dark now, and I really do need, and I've been going on for 40 minutes. This might be one of the longest videos I've made, but we all have that internal struggle. We all have, whether it doesn't even have to be a person, it could be a family member that you're struggling. Like, I have a niece that's on drugs, and who knows where she is today. So I worry about her. I worry, like, when my brother calls, is his daughter, is he gonna say they found her dead? Like, I mean, that's upsetting to me, and I cry over that sometimes. And just there's many internal struggles with our emotions. And there's a new Inside Out movie coming out, Inside Out 2, and I can't wait to go see it. My granddaughter wants me to take her, so I have to kind of look that up. I think it's June, July, maybe. I don't know. There were so many movie previews that who knows. But yeah, so I'd love to hear your feedback, what you think of the poem. I'll try to find that why one, because I think that's perfect. The person that commented about, you know, you have those why not me questions, and that's just perfect. And I did that when he got into this, like, that I thought was, oh, this is pretty. I mean, like I said, they do their own thing. She's never been married, no kids, and I don't know, it works for her, and he treats her great, because why wouldn't he? I mean, he is a great guy. That's another thing. Great guys are hard to find. So that's what I'm like, oh, God, he's a great guy and all that. But again, maybe if I was in a relationship, maybe I'd be like, it's not for me, you know, long term. And that's exactly what my friend says about her guy. She's like, she's been spending more and more time with him, and she's like, I don't know, maybe if I spent a very long period of time with him, like a week, over a week, I might see other sides of him that I don't know he'd be for me. So I don't know, but time will tell, and I just hope and pray that the right person comes along. But if not, like another person said, and again, I apologize that I don't know your screen name. I have great friends. I have a great family, most of the time. And again, friends too can be, but I know I have a good time with them, with my family, with my friends, nieces, nephews, you know, cousins. So I'm having girls' night Friday night. So that'll be a fun time. So I am lucky. I am lucky and blessed that there's some people that have no one. No one. I mean, they might have a few friends, but they don't have much in the way of family, or they don't live by their family, or they're not close with their family. And they have a few friends, and maybe the friends are married and don't really, you know, ask them too much to do things, or you know, say yes to things. So I feel very blessed. I really do. So I'm really going to end this now, go in and take my dog for a walk, and I will let you know what I cook and how it goes, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.